Good morning. Who says you can't sleep outside in the woods if you don't put your tent up? Well, I slept outside last night. I'm on what I call the triangle platform. It's not a triangle, but it sits within a triangle of trees, I guess. Grandmother Moon's up there. You can barely see her. The wind people are very, very, very busy this morning. It was an interesting night. At one point, they blew my cover off. So, it's a good thing it's a warm morning. I hope you can hear the hawk. No, he's gone. You know, I say all the time, I was not made to sleep in a house. You can hear a plane going over. Oh my goodness. How awesome. Well, I hope you enjoy your Sunday. I've got stuff to do. There's always something to do at Indigo Run. You enjoy your day today. And be kind. And be kind to yourself. Goodness, my stomach's growling. I think it needs coffee. So, I'm going to get up off my zero chair, or zero gravity chair. I don't think my brain's awake yet. And hike back up to the house. And enjoy my day. Good morning, Reba. I hope you're doing well. There goes a buzzard. It is a lovely morning here. I hope yours is too. I miss Kentucky. Whoop, the wind's blowing my cover around. I love watching the trees dance in the wind. Yes, Kentucky is a beautiful place. And I always feel like I'm home when I'm in Kentucky. Of course, I have family that were in Kentucky, and they're not far in Virginia and West Virginia. Lots of really good people in Kentucky. No, there are 3 rocks right there, and one of them is quite a ways from the other. It was up here by the others last night when I went to bed. I didn't hear anything, but they normally don't wake me up in the night. You know, it won't be long, and the trees will all be budded out. It's interesting. Here on the ridge, it takes longer for the leaves to come out on the trees. And at the house, where the house is, they're already leafing out. And these are elm trees, and elm trees usually leaf out really early. But it just takes a little longer here on the ridge. What a beautiful morning. Good morning, Scott, Simon, and Jenny. We've had so much wind recently and really strong winds. And so I haven't put my tent up yet. And I'm trying to decide on which platform to put it up. And I guess that'll probably be made when I make the decision of what tent to put up. If I put a tent up on this little platform, it's usually one of my little backpacking tents. This platform's only 9 by 9, I think, and the other one's quite a bit bigger. So I can put a bigger tent on it and make it a little more comfortable. I've got a cot and a little mattress and things I'll put on it, and good morning, Robert. Goes another buzzard. There are lots of buzzards in this area. I love watching them. They teach us a lot of things. When you look at them on the ground, or if they're in a tree close, you think, oh my gosh, you know, they look horrible. I've heard people say, oh, they're always eating dead things. And yes, they are one of the beings on this earth that help to clear out trash, if you want to call that trash. And they don't get sick from it. They secrete a liquid, I guess you'd call it, that will wash down over their legs and feet to clean themselves. And when they fly, they are so graceful and so beautiful. So they show you two things, and they teach you too that the outward part of someone is not the truth of who they are inside. Well, Jenny, it was wonderful sleeping out here. Of course, I'm on my zero gravity chair with some blankets. And I loved it. I woke up in the night, I think once. And it really wasn't night. I think it was probably early morning hours. And looked at the moon as she was coming up, and clouds and what little stars I could see at that point. And then it just cleared, and oh my gosh, the sky was just filled with stars. I got my froggy voice still going this morning. Good morning, Ray. Well, batten down the hatches today and be safe. We don't have any storms coming for a while. We really need some rain. Hi, Kaya. I love you. Yep, I love all the critters too. My great-granddaughter is watching. I love that. I wonder how many great-granddaughters watch their grandmother as she wakes up in the woods. I think that's becoming more and more and more as people realize how special the woods are and how healing they are. You have a beautiful day today, Jenny. Hi, Dana. Oh, my goodness. It's so awesome when you see people that are on the other coast, whether it's the East Coast or the West Coast, and you're in the middle of the United States and you see your friends' names pop up and you're going, oh my gosh, I'm spending a part of my morning. There you go. That's a good example. Good morning, Tater. Well, the wind picked my cover up. Good morning, Stacy. I've spent a lot of hours in this zero gravity chair looking up at the sky, seeing the stars, clouds, and oh, I do too, Stacy. Wow, dang. Maine's windy too, huh? Goodness. I don't know. Maybe it's just something I think, but it seems like each year it gets more windy. I don't remember it being quite as windy as it has been in the past. But I love the wind. I know the other day when we were in a wind warning, I had gone out the front door and was going to walk around to the back of the house, and I came around the corner and it was like almost I hit a wall. It was like, oh my gosh, it stopped me. It was so hard. And the child in me said, oh wow, this is fun. I'm going to lean into the wind. I'm going to play out here and with all the trees. I decided, I'll go back in the house. I mean, I love winter. We don't have as much wind, it seems like, in the winter. And I can hike these ridges. Oh, let's see if you can see up there. I don't know if you can see the birds or not. It was two eagles. That's so cool. They were way up there. But this year, I'm ready. I'm ready for spring. I'm ready to plant more garden. We definitely need some rain for that. But potatoes and onions are in the ground. So that's a good start. And I've still got time. Oh, awesome, Stacy. Any size garden's good. We're planting a little more this year than I planted in quite a while. Of course, I have my daughter and son-in-law live here now on the land, and that makes it easier. Morning, Miss Grover. How are you? Hey, Mark. I'm down on the ridge in my zero gravity chair. I don't have an extremely good connection. It keeps giving me the slow connection warning, I guess. I'm pretty slow this morning myself. I think I was going to get up several minutes ago and hike back to the house for coffee. And here I lay, soaking up the outside. Hear the crows talking. There's a post of a video with a song on my page if you haven't listened to it. It is so wonderful. My friend Michael Beers wrote it for me and produced it, did the video slideshow. And surprised me with it. And for any of you know about my life, and of course Indigo and Al Collar, you will understand how that song touched me so deeply. I mean, when I found it, I played it, and oh my gosh, tears came to my eyes, and my heart just filled up. And then I played it for Matthew, and both of us had tears in our eyes, and it was just so special. Indigo is just so special to me in so many ways, and Al Collar, his dad, and to other people, you know, as well. Mark Nickens had his experience with Al Collar. Jonathan, my friend, had his experience with Al Collar. And then, of course, Rick Taylor had his experience with Al Collar as well. And it was just so special. It just touched my heart. Good morning, Dan. I have been padinged. Oh my goodness. I've enjoyed seeing each of you this morning as I'm laying here kicked back in my zero gravity chair that Matthew got for me several years ago after I'd had my lung surgery because I couldn't lay down and rest. And this was perfect, and I have utilized it so much to sleep outside in, to lay in it and look up at the sky and the stars and the clouds. And good morning, Susan. Good morning, Sandy. Said you get to hear my frog voice. My grandmother did this too, so I love it. Even when I hear myself, I remember her talking and how she would clear her throat, and it's a good memory. Morning, Denise. How are you, sis? Long time no see. Oh my goodness. You know, a lot of my parts on my body remind me of my family. I mean, I've got my hands remind me of both of my grandmothers when I look at them. There were certain things about their hands that are now on my hands, and I love that. It's just so special. I look at them, and yes, they are the hands of a grandmother. They're wrinkled and just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And I see other things about my body that reminds me of them. And that's so special to feel that connection through them by, looking at my hands. My grandfather always had a way of saying things to me that made me look at it in a different way. And I have big hands, and of course I have big feet. And if I said anything about it, he always had something to say back to me that made me think about it. But my feet, he would always say, the winds won't blow you over. And you got a good foundation. And I've always been what a lot of people would say, a larger woman. And when I was a young teenager, I would say something about being fat. And he would say, "You're not fat. You're just big." Now, for a lot of people, they would say, "Oh my gosh, that sounds horrible." But the women in his family were large women. And he loved those women so much. And they even called his sister Big Mary. And for him to say that to me was very much a compliment. It wasn't a derogatory term from him. And I treasure those things he would say to me. And while we're on the subject of big feet, I have a lot of people that say, "Oh, you shouldn't call them Bigfoot. That's derogatory." And no, it's not. Most people don't even know why people called them Bigfoot. And it was purely because people had seen large footprints. There were big footprints. And so they associated them with the size of their footprint. So it's really not a derogatory term. If you use it in a derogatory term, which we can do that, humans seem to take words and turn them around and make them mean something that the intention of that word is not what they're bringing. So whatever we do, if we do it in a respectful manner, makes a big difference. I know, Dana, it is just so cool to be able to talk to friends that we have that are a long ways off and to make that connection. Well, Susan, I hope you get your zap. I've never actually been zapped in a sense that I've been immobilized or felt harm from that, from them. I did have something happen years ago, and this is hilarious. I was with a friend down in the Comish Mountains, and there were several of the Bigfoot people in that area, and there was one area where we were where there were a few mothers and they had their children with them, and we were standing there and knew that they were right there, and we even got a lot of glimpses of them. And as we would walk closer towards them in a respectful manner, it was like I had this laughing, giggling thing come over me, and that's what I did. I just laughed and giggled till it nearly took my breath away, and so I backed up quite a ways, and it just went away. And so, I walked back up towards where they were, and I started giggling again. And it was like this line of, you go past the line, and you giggle. And you come back on the other side of the line and you start giggling. And it was just so much fun. Excuse me. But I've had a lot of fun in my life with them and with just my life in general. Well, I'm thinking it's time for Arla to be up off this zero gravity chair, hike back up to the house, and to have coffee. My body says I need coffee. I hope you do, Stacy. I hope you do get to have a wonderful experience with them. Well, Miss Dottie, good morning. Thanks, Tater. You as well. I'm sending you lots of love, Dottie. And I'm keeping you in my heart. The birds are up moving around now, the little birds. was nice talking to you too, Stacy, and you have a wonderful day. Well, you're so welcome, Dottie. I love you, and I'm so sorry your heart's hurting. Well, I'm going to be a woman of my word now. I'm going to get up. I don't know if I can get up and in my chair without... there we go. If I can put the camera around a little more. You can see the other platform back in there where the circle is. You too, Denise. Everyone have such a beautiful, blessed day.